The first presenter is Dr. Punpan Atitnam, who is presenting on Sustainable Manufacturing Center and its platform flagship project of Thailand. And the second presenter is Dr. Riri Kusumarani, followed by Yuri Yurmal, Dr. Sisir Manandar, Tint Knay, Dr. Nguyen Panthan, Wantana, and the last presenter is myself. Each presenter will get 15 minutes of presentations and time, and I request all presenters to finish much earlier than allocated time to start, so that we can entertain some of the questions from the audience. Otherwise, we have to skip the good questions from the audience. During the presentation, I will give you the time information by the private chat and to the presenter. And if the presenter cannot finish in 15 minutes, I will be the first to stop the presentation. Therefore, I request you to make not to make me a dictator by taking more than 15 minutes. Without any further delay, let us welcome Dr. Phonpan Atitnam.
Yes, thanks, Dr. Bikram, our moderator. I'm Phonprom from Thailand. I'm ITTP at Thais. So, good evening again. So, I'm going to talk to you about Thailand Sustainable Manufacturing Center, or SMC, under the Eastern Economic Corridor, we call EEC, and its flagship project. Okay, hope you can see my presentation, right? Okay, let's start from what is EEC. It stands for Eastern Economic Corridor of Innovation. It is a project under National Science and Technology Development Agency, we call NASDA, my office, under Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation. Why we need EECI? Okay, EEC and I for innovation. We expect that EECI will position itself as a hub linking innovation and investment across the country for Thailand target industry. The research output at the laboratory level can scale up to the commercial scale, let's say about the translational research, and can use infrastructure and supporting innovation ecosystem at here EECI. And the investment that follows thereafter can settle in the EEC or anywhere else. So we hope that the investor bringing the advanced technology for the target industry into the region can use our provided infrastructure and innovation ecosystem at EECI. So where is it? Where is it? The EECI site at the Wangchan Valley, Rayong province. There are around 480 hectares. It takes around 3 hours from the Bangkok, capital city of Thailand, and only 45 minutes from EECI to the beach, Pattaya, Chonburi. Some of you may know about Pattaya Beach. It is occupied by our neighbor. You can see industrial sector or university, Kamnert with Science Academy School, and Vittaya Siri Methi Institute of Science and Technology, similar to KAIS, and together it aims to be the innovation hub for Thailand. So EECI provides translational research facility and quality infrastructure amidst the balanced innovation ecosystem for researcher and innovator to live, relax, and work collaboratively together. So the reason behind EECI is our national strategy for Thailand 4.0 strategy. We aim to develop the innovative value-based industry with the respective industry comprising of automation, robotics, and intelligence system. So this is the key things. and we aim for the next 20 years of our country strategy. So as per our survey in Thailand, we found that the main problem of Thai manufacturers are 4 matters. The first one is labor, machine, production process, and the product. We found that we lack and need reskill and upskill of our labor workforce. We have the outdated machine, or some of them are in damage. We have low performance and no quality control in production process, as well as in the production line, it is still in traditional and lack of technology. So from this, we deploy the Smart Industry Readiness Index. In short, it is SIRI, or we call SIRI, developed by the Singapore Economic Development Board. So from this picture, you can see the red color, right? The red point is the average of readiness of Thai factory compared with the gray one of Singaporean factory. So we found that for Thailand, we have the very low score in shop floor connectivity, facility connectivity, and facility intelligence. So this is only 17 factory that we have surveyed in this year, and we will do it more and more to check our readiness and then to solve our Thai factory problem. So right now you see that we have problem on shop floor intelligence, and we also found that most of our Thai factory right now, they are in the second one circle, right, in determined process. So most of our Thai factory, we are aware on the importance of smart factory, but they are not sure, don't know that how to do it, how to go to industry 4.0. So they determine what do they need. They need the pilot project to prove how to do it, and then they come back to make plan, do implement and evaluation as the cycle on this. So this is the problem that deliver to our vision for sustainable manufacturing center. The key vision is to increase Thai manufacturing capability. And what the stage? The first stage is we aim to be one-stop service for factory transformation. And since NASDA, my office, and NECTEC, my office, we are research and development center, so we can apply our local technology in compare with the world-class technology, let's say the low-cost technology from Thailand, and drive to the low-cost smart factory, as well as to prepare marketplace to matching the local factory with the system integrator and vendor. Finally, to show, to prove that it can be test-based driven activity. This is our mission and our 5 missions of Sustainable Manufacturing Center. And what our value proposition? 5 key things. Start from the assessment. As I refer to Smart Industry Readiness and Index, right? We can start from to check the, let's say, the health readiness of factory, and then we prove and solve there are problems from the assessment. And next, when we know the problem, right, go forward for train the human workforce capacity building and provide consulting service respective to the selection of appropriate technology, either local technology or abroad technology, right? And then help the factory to implement the factory automation with the system development and technology adoption for them. And also, as well as the testing, we provide the test-based service without the process interruption. This is the main requirement from the factory, that how can do test the system without interrupting their current process. Okay, so from these 5 service offering, we solve the 4 problems comprising of labor, machine, process, and product, as well from through the 5 offering: assessment, training, consultation, implementation, and test bed. Right? So to be sure that the factory can do factory automation, transformation, and from 3 area and technology: automation, robotics, and intelligence. From the base research development from National Electronics and Computer Technology Center, my office, we start from the research and then move next to translational research to the industry. The right hand side are the area and technology that we are cover, such as IIoT, artificial intelligence, big data, which are the important things for factory transformation, right? So we provide the test bed and showroom to show the smart warehouse, smart utilities, maintenance, and also the AGV and UAV to demonstrate the factory. And this is our customer, our target customer, anchor user, and also the community, as well as the provider, to cover all of ecosystem that need for smart factory. This thing is membership. So after this, we will invite for either local and international members to be our membership through community level, or SMC membership, system integrator membership, as well as for technology provider, the most anchor. So right now we inviting for anchor and leader in Thailand and looking for our member from international too. You can see after this with the detail with membership, and start with the demand-driven test bed on smart utility, overall equipment effectiveness, smart maintenance, and smart warehouse. This is the first 4 test bed we start. This is an example of IoT and cyber physical system. So right now we have partnered with more than 20 factories on OEE, either digital twin of cooling tower or other IoT machine monitoring. This is the example with Big Corp of Thailand, SCG, Siam Cement Group, or Electronic Generator Authority of Thailand, and Smart Factory Industry 4.0 on image processing platform, right? And we work with our stakeholder amongst R&D, technology vendor, system integrator, and factory. So we got many friends now to be our platform. And Korea, friends, we work with Smart Manufacturing Innovation Center, or SMIC. So we visit SMIC 1.5 years ago, and also invite the CEO and expert to join our next tech conference and more concrete our collaboration. And this is a local partner to deliver. As I mentioned, that we cover all academic and provider scatter on any center and location to be our collaborator. And this one, IIoT and data analytics platform, this is one of our flagship project of SMC. So we start from the real-time monitoring with real-time monitoring on energy monitoring. So right now we conduct the pilot project with 15 factory and work with another 13 technology provider and the public agency. We aim to finish in the next 9 months with the national dashboard on energy consumption in Thai factory. And the key objective is to support
you have 1 minute left.
Yes, thanks. And to prove that we can do industrial big data for Thailand energy management with IDA platform. So, we got the sponsorship from big corps such as you can see Mitsubishi Electric, Cisco, Omron, securities provider Palo Alto Software to prove, and we make a test bed on this. And next we plan to move to another 500 factory in 3 years with government support. So this is the benefit and impact. So the main impact is we can see the real-time energy monitoring system of Thailand. Also, we can see the energy consumption improvement too. Okay, this is only one year for prove this, and then go ahead in 3 years with 500 factory. So from this, with SMC under EECI, we are looking for local and also international partners, especially for Korea and our friends, to support the development of SMC in Thailand. So contact me, and very proud to be Kais and friend of SNU ITPP. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Phornpham.
Yes,
you
please.
really did very well on time as scheduled and as I mentioned. Now, our next presenter is Dr. Riri Kusumarani. Now, its floor is yours, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. I hope you can see my slide. So good evening, everyone. My name is Riri, and like Mr. Phornpham, I'm also from KAIS ITTP as an alumni. So first of all, I want to say thank you for the organizing committee from KAIS ITTP and SNU ITPP for inviting me to this event. So what today I will share is about Indonesia's national strategy on artificial intelligence. I will share a chunk of information regarding Indonesia's development on this topic, a little bit about the statistics, and of course, the strategy on AI. Indonesia is known to have more than 17,000 islands with a huge population of more than 270 million in 2019. We also have more than 300 million mobile phone subscribers, but the average speed of our mobile internet connection is quite slow. And that's the statistic, and let's move on into the main topic of the presentation. As AI becoming one of the main focus of Industry 4.0 era, countries are starting to align its national strategy on ICT. This image is taken from OECD website, and it shows existing status on AI across the countries. The gray ones tell us that these countries haven't initiated strategy or in progress of initiating ones. From this image also, we can also see that less is known about AI status in my country, Indonesia. This is what I'm trying to share with you in general in this presentation. On early July 2020, the Ministry of Research and Technology initiated what we call National Strategy on Artificial Intelligence, or we call it STANAS AI. STANAS AI aims to guide the country in developing artificial intelligence between 2020 and 2045. This strategy is already completed and can be seen as document downloadable to public. The national strategy focused on highlighted sectors and also consisted of roadmap of utilization for AI in the next 25 years or so. The national strategy consisted of work groups, which is a combination of public, private sectors, universities, and research agencies. These groups started to focus on different aspects of AI depending on their specialty sector. The document also described at least 4 main missions of Indonesia in AI, and these missions aim to support Indonesia 2045, which is a sovereign, just, and prosperous country in its 100th years of anniversary in 2045. So this picture shows the national strategy framework, and it shows that AI will act as a support to reach Indonesia vision in 2045. There are 4 different focus areas and 5 priority sectors as the baseline of the national strategy. Based on the previous framework, The work groups that I have mentioned before start what we call a quick win programs. These programs are milestones toward the implementation of AI in the country. For example, we have set a goal to integrate our tsunami early warning detection system with AI to get a more precise predictions of tsunami. We also plan to create a regional agricultural production prediction system to help our farmers optimizing their work. Within the national strategy, 5 years roadmap is elaborated in detail. But because there are too many of them, I choose several examples just to show what this roadmap is all about. The first one I will share is about the roadmap on smart city and smart mobility platform. Within 5 years, Indonesia targeted to have the following programs on the topic. First that I will highlight is the integration of data, physical devices, and public facility operations. This program consisted of different stakeholders such as the local government, of course, the universities, and also industries. We also aim to complete a decision support system for disaster because, as you might all aware, that Indonesia is quite prone to natural disaster. Another interesting program on AI is to have AI integrated in our education system. We are trying to have this project finalized in 2024. So within this program, the government encouraged startup companies to participate, because this one is unlike any other sectors. And for public services, there are also several programs designed to help enhancing existing government services. For example, we have chatbots or conversational assistant to be integrated with the public services. One of the benefits of having chatbot is to have a fast and reliable G2C, G2B, and G2G services. Indonesia also aims to have a big data analysis system and build a system which can analyze sentiment or responses toward government policies. Next thing I will share to you is about the existing development and implementation of AI in Indonesia. So as COVID-19 pushed countries to innovate, Indonesia have what we call TFRIC-19. This is a task force dedicated to combine innovation and technology to fight COVID-19 pandemic. The task force focused on 5 strategic actions. One of them is to develop an AI-based solution to help COVID-19 screening and decision-making related issues. The AI for COVID-19 will have and combine several systems such as early detection system, decision support system, and geospatial location system. This project will coordinate fully with the health sectors, and the results are complementary to existing COVID-19 detection system. Next one, we have Notula, which is a speech recognition and transcription management system based on AI. This might be the first time Indonesians are made aware of AI abilities. The application applied to transcript debate sessions during presidential election last year, and it has the ability to transcribe more than 80% of the total discussion. Moving on, as one of the milestones of AI in Indonesia, government encouraged a smart city program based on AI. The example can be seen on the Capital City Smart City program. Jakarta Smart City aims to have an AI-based smart city, and we have implemented many solutions based on this. And let's move on to a different perspective on AI in Indonesia. From startup ecosystem, we have also witnessed the rise of startups on AI in Indonesia. These are just a few of them that I managed to gain information about. So we have completed the Stranas AI, we have completed the national strategy, but there are still challenges need to be addressed appropriately. One of the requirements to develop AI is to have a good quality and a huge quantity of data available. This is what Indonesia is actually lacking. There is also a lower level of incentive for research and development on the sector, which affects the development speed of AI in the country. And as I shared earlier in my presentations, we have startups on AI, but the government hasn't started special programs to nurture these new companies to develop further and to be able to compete with tech giant companies. So despite all the difficulties that we have encountered, Indonesia continues to present opportunities. Firstly, the AI is already included in national priority programs and national research master plan. And we have a plan to build a new capital. And the implementation of the new capital will require a high demand on AI-based solutions. Based on national strategy, startups are also encouraged to expand their business and develop. And lastly, Indonesia is open to international collaboration with any country. So before I finish my presentation, I would like to share about one event related with this topic. In the mid of November, we plan to have a virtual expo and conference, which is free of charge. There will be conference, business meetings, and many more. You are more than welcome to attend this event. And if you have any inquiries relating to this event, I can be contacted through email. And the website is www.ais2020.id. This is to give you a glimpse view of what AI in Indonesia is all about. These are the references used for this presentation. And thank you for sparing your time to listening to this presentation.
Thank you, really, really wonderful presentation and the very comprehensive information about the Indonesia's national strategy on artificial intelligence. Next presenter is Yuri Yurmal. Let's welcome to Yuri. Yuri, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Share. Let's go. Okay, can you hear my voice? Is clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
clear.
Okay, thank you. I will start my presentation. Thank you all to give me a very good part in this conference to give a presentation. My title is about a smart society that robot will replace our future. So as we know, the fourth industrial revolution is just like a big momentum in our life as a human being. So the fourth industrial revolution changed drastically many things in our life. Since the first of industrial revolution, when the human muscle is changed with the machine, and that time is with steam, and then the second revolutions with the electricity, and then the third generation with the computing, and then the fourth generations is more about the technology, where we can find that simulation, cloud computing, IoT, cybersecurity, big data, augmented reality connected in our life. So it's just all around the world, it will connected with the technology and this era. So it just like transform many things in our life. And because of the fourth industrial revolution, we try to make everything smart. Under the umbrella of the smart city, many things also become smart in our life. Smart grid, smart community, smart hospitality, smart transportation, smart healthcare, smart warehouse, and also smart factory. So this, the next level of the smart city also changed us as a humans. Before we heard about that society 4.0, then society 5.0, and then right now it will become smart society, where the human will collaborate, live together with that technology, and we like or doesn't like. So it's just like we cannot avoid this era. So we will live in the city with smart, with the infrastructure, with the machine, with everything that will give a very big impact in our life. Talk also about the fourth industrial revolution. We can see one, the significant of the fourth industrial revolution era is about the robot. So actually, when we see the robot market itself, we can divide into industrial robot and service robot. Even actually with the industrial robot and service robot, there is no, it's still blurred border, because sometimes the industrial robot also used in at the service robot as the professional robot, but itself, the service robot can also divide into two: professional robot and personal robot. Professional robots is like we can use in logistic, defense, public relation, healthcare, professional cleaning and inspection, and etc., etc. And also in our life, personal robots will become given with another part in our life, where household and entertainment also will change. We will use robot in this part of our life. We can see from the International Federative Robotics about how the market robot. We can see that for the industrial robot, the number from 2019 to 2019, 2009 to 2019, always we can see the significant number of the unit that install robot in industry. And also we can see the big 5 country with a very good basic in a microprocessor, like China, Japan, United States, Republic of Korea, and Germany become the big 5 in this industry. Then let we see the service robot market. Service robot market also give a very good and fancy for the market. And from this side, we can see that service robot market also predicted in 2023 will become increase and also bring a lot of money in our life. This around 10,000 billion of US dollar. So it means a robot market will become a very good opportunity around the world. As I mentioned before, what actually behind robot industry? Of course, the 4th industrial revolution era, the technology itself, AI, big data, IoT, 5G, and also the improvement of camera and sensor system being one of the behind robot industry. And the success of the 4th industrial revolution is because of the high quality of data market and also the advanced AI in technology. Then we can see AI and robots. AI and robots actually become a very good combination in this technology. This technology gives a very, very good impact in our life. This research find that AI cumulative revenue for kids also from 2016 to 2025, it still give a lot of money and give a big opportunity for us. And also from the executive really like to use the benefit of AI because give a very good impact for their life and make their lives more simple. Then what we think about robot will do? Because AI can drive innovative robots, right? Then we'll think, yeah, a robot will take over our jobs. They will kick us from many jobs of us. Then because of that, I think because I live in Korea, it's just like in the developed country, robot industry, robot market, everything with robot is very natural in their life. I'm curious what it's still the same with my own country because I'm from Indonesia, I'm from a developing country, what actually people around me think about the robot, how they face about the robot. So I try to use like WhatsApp and with people around me and think and open questions about what actually people around me thinking about living with robots. So the question is just simple question, just a discussion that what kind of robot you want, what the function, what the size, what the appearance. Did you worry about the robot? And also, what do you think about caregiver robot? Because in the developing country, they face the aging society. So they will try to use robot to take care the parents, to take care the elderly people. So I also curious, it's still the same with people around in my country. So when I ask all my friends, what actually the robot that you want? Everyone say, I want the robot can do chores to me. So all the activity like cleaning house, cooking, and take care of everything, I really want. Most of the people say that I want a robot that can do a home job to me. And also say that I want a robot that talk many language. I want a robot that take my baby. I want a robot like Robocop. And also because of the coronavirus, my friend thinks that because most of the students, most of the children study at home, they feel exhausted as a parent because they have job, but they still also need to teach the children at home. So I want a robot that can teach my my children, or do the school project together with my children. Or I want a robot that can take care of my pet. Because I'm living alone, I want a robot can do mechanical for me. So people think a robot just like us, a human. So is it correct or not? When I ask what actually the dream robot you likes, it's more like us as a human or like a machine, because everyone say that the robot can do this, the robot that can do this. So everything that we say that just like the robots are already just the same like us. When I ask that question, all my friends say, no, I don't want a robot that look like me. What do you think? If I'm going around and I don't know that's the robot, no way. I don't want the robot that look like me. So people is very strange. You want the robot that do the same job with you, but they don't want to look like you. So it will be creepy really, when I don't know, when I cannot mention that they the robot. So, and my friends say, I don't want a robot really look like me, because my children will love the robot more than me, because the robot never get angry and don't have any emotional to the children. So that's what I found in my discussion with my friend. And also, what the size of the robot that you want? If core robots is okay, it's just like us. But when but it's for store, we want the robot that look cute and store. And the very critical question about when I ask you, do you want a robot to take care of your parents? Then maybe because of the different culture, when as the Indonesian people, as the Asian people, we still take care of our parents when they in the old day. They say, what do you want to give your parents with the robots? That's your job as your children. You're crazy. You're really crazy. So you are not a human actually. So it's just like a very, very stress. Sometimes we want a robot, and also we don't want to. Actually, it's really, really strange that from my discussion. Then if you want to talk the money, yeah, we don't want a expensive robot, even we know that this technology is very, very expensive. So then I try to make the conclusion that robot will take over our lives. So it's really scary with the robots, of course, because of the new technology, not only because of the robot. Every technology is just like the piece of the coin money, right? There is one side, there is two sides. If some job will lose, of course the other job will come, and there is another opportunity come to us. So, and also I can make a conclusion actually that the robot that we think is beyond our imagination. I think because we saw the movie that saw that robot can falling in love. That's actually the robot is still not in that position. So the robot itself, they can do repeatedly job, but not specifically, not a detailed job. Even we cannot, till this day, we cannot make the perfect robot that can open the potato and clean all sides, because detailed job cannot take over with the robots. And also, robot is a tool. We are designed the robot not to help us work, to improve our job, to give time for us to enjoy our life, not to substitute us a human. So we don't need to worry about that, because what? Because we are create the robot. As long as we are the people who create the robot, of course the intelligence is come from us. So why we afraid with that. So the most important things when we talk about the robot is, of course, education and skillful job is still needed. So maybe a low job, like usually repeatedly job work that we do, it will be replaced. But job with high skill and need adjustment cannot be replaced with a robot. So what should we do? We cannot avoid the robot and that technology. So the most important thing is we must live together and do a collaborative with robots. So robot will help us to do a better job, not to take care of our life. I think that's the conclusion that I made. Thank you for listening my presentation, and then this is the reference that I do.
Thank you, Yuri. You did a really great job and then finished on time. Now, next presenter is Dr. Sisir Manandar. He will be presenting on Work 4.0 and its skills for the future. Let's welcome Dr. Sisir.
Yeah, thank you, Vikram. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Okay. So, yeah, let me begin the presentation here. Dear Symposia participants and audience, it's my pleasure and honor to have this opportunity to present in ZSTV 2020 on skills and knowledge, which will be required in the era of the fourth industrial revolution. And I'm thankful to Professor Wang and the entire organizing team for this opportunity. We are in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, and yeah, we have discussed a lot on technology and all those things. Now, my presentation will be basically on the human side of how we will be dealing in the era of the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so as we are in the era of the industrial revolution, which is driven by technological disruptors such as artificial intelligence, robots, and data, and they will complement the work. Industry 4. So yes, here we go. Industry 4.0 represents the combination of cyber-physical systems, the Internet of Things, and the Internet of Systems. Previous industrial revolutions liberated human beings from animal power, then mass-made production possible, and brought digital capabilities to billions of people. The fourth industrial revolution is, however, fundamentally different. It is characterized by a range of cutting-edge technologies that are facing the physical, digital, and biological worlds, impacting all disciplines, economies, and industries. It represents the idea of a smart workplace characterized by an exponential rate of change, where machines are augmented with web connectivity and connected to a system that can visualize the entire production and make decisions at its own. The disruptions brought by the fourth industrial revolution are made by other huge-scale societal and demographic shifts, which are characterized by globalization, aging population, and increasing diversity within the workplace. In this context, it will be worth to discuss human capital and its dynamics here. Human capital consists of the knowledge, skills, health, and well-being that people accumulate over their lives, enabling them to realize their potential as productive members of the society. The primacy of human capital requires skills with a combination of technological know-how and employability skills that include such as problem solving, critical thinking, as well as soft skills such as perseverance, collaboration, and empathy. Human capital needs constantly developing skills, knowledge, and capabilities to thrive in complex, ever-changing environment. Here, now let me discuss 3 types of skills increasingly important in labor market in the context of the 4th industrial revolution as such. So the first one we can see as advanced cognitive skills, and those skills such as complex problem solving, then critical thinking, logic, then creativity. Then in higher order cognitive skills, in other words, technical skills with business understanding and digital intelligence. The third type of skills we can name as socio-behavioral skills, such as teamwork, communication, empathy, conflict resolution, conflict management. Similarly, creativity, curiosity, commitment to work, such and such. Then we can talk about skill combinations that are predictive of adaptability, for example, reasoning and self-efficacy, ability to adapt quickly to changes, ability to unlearn and relearn, and the ability to reskill in the complex environment. Having contemplated on human capital need, now let me take you to a problem statement where we will discuss skill mismatch in general, which is a barrier to human capital development. We can see huge gaps between the goal of education systems and the needs of business. And this is making a cost for quality labs or quality gaps. On the other hand, employers are compelled to take on people whose skills and experience fall short of what's required in the work, and employers then will have to spend money on retraining. So that's a cost. Meanwhile, those whose skills are not in demand will take any job, just to simply to earn a living. According to Boston Consulting Group, according to its estimates, the skills mismatch, which means people having competencies, that either lack or exceed, or the inefficiency for the activities they perform, and then it affects 1.3 billion people worldwide today, and by 2030 there will be around 1.4 billion people, and that imposes a 6% annual tax on the economy in the form of what we call as lost labor productivity. Another problem we can refer to is, of course, the skill shortages. Now here you can see this again from Boston Consulting Group's study, where you can see the skills mismatch in OECD countries affecting 2 out of 5 employees in the OECD countries. Now let me take you to another slide. So now when we talk about the future of work, I've taken OECD's this particular part. What OECD says is the future of work is now, and in this form of digitalization and globalization, they have sparked radical shifts in how we work and live. And at this surreal situation of the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis, it has accelerated these beyond anything we could have imagined. And because of this pandemic, the current world, what ILO, International Labour Organization, estimates is that 1.6 billion workers stood in immediate danger of having their livelihood destroyed by last March. Because of this pandemic situation, teleworking, working from home, is possible, but still, this is not an option for many people around the world. And also, it has created new employment opportunities through platform economy, which has been popular, even before the pandemic starts. Okay. Yeah. So, well, as we have talked about technology, digitization, automation. So what OECD has projected is nearly 14% of jobs in OECD countries are likely to be automated, while another 32% of the jobs are at high risk of being partially automated. And the risk is that, especially the young people and those with low skills, they are at high risk of losing their jobs, while the new technological developments are also affecting the jobs of the high skilled. When it comes to the platform economy, the question is always there over quality and stability. And when it comes to teleworking, well, the access of technology and broadband, that's making this an awesome thing at this time. But the question is, with the access, how many people have that one? So these are the barriers, the bottlenecks towards all these factors. Now, having said so, what we have to understand here is that learning, teaching, and everything, that has to be lifelong. So we need to have lifelong learning and continuous retraining, skilling, reskilling, and upskillings, as we know that skills become obsolete at an increasingly fast rate, especially in this, especially with the technical skills. So what we can propose is university courses, university degrees are there, but in terms of getting advanced cognitive skills, higher order cognitive skills, and social behavioral skills, there should be the proliferation of micro-credentialing courses, the short courses where people can take courses, in a very short time. They can have at their own space, at their own speed and flexibility. Then, so of course, the enhancing access to labor market, that's another important factor here. What I'm saying here is that there should be the gap closed between the academia and industry, meaning so ivory tower should not be the solution for us to go ahead in the era of industrial revolution. And here are my references, and thank you for giving me this opportunity for this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sisir Manandar, for the very insightful presentation about the work 4.0, because we need it to transform fairly. We also need to work with the unskilled people, skilled people, and balance them to his insightful presentation. The next presenter is Tint Kine. He is presenting on ICT integration and optimization in Myanmar, Fire Services Department as a case. Let's welcome to Tint.
All right, Vikram. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go on.
All right, let me share my presentation. I hope you all see my screen. All right, let me start my presentation. Hello, everyone. 안녕하세요, 여러분. My name is Tin Kai, Staff Officer at the Myanmar Fire Service Department. We call it MFSD. Also, I'm the INTTP alumni of 15 batch. The title today I'm gonna present is the ICT integration and optimization in the Myanmar Fire Service Department. It's about how the ICT systems are being utilized and carrying out the public safety in case of any emergency like a fire or any disaster or any tsunami or something like this. And so the following will be explained in detail. So this is the contents of my presentation, and these all systems will be presenting in detail in the following slide. The first one is the command and control center. This is the one command control center. It is already established in 2011 at the headquarters of the Myanmar Fire Service Department in Yangon. Like other ICT systems, like the 191 report and dispatch order system, and other 3G camera system. Also, we call it another one, e-watching tower system that are also connected to the command and control center, and then those systems are being monitored 24/7. Here from the command and control center for the nationwide. By establishing this kind of command and control center, and then we can implement the effective management and effective supervision for the fire incidents and the natural disaster remotely to those fire service personnel who are implementing the on-site ground. So those or the high-level officer can supervise easily by seeing those big screen in the command and control center. The next system I would like to introduce is the e-watching tower system. This is the monitoring the long-range CCTV camera system that's already installed at the high-rise building. At the high-rise building here, you can see the one long-range CCTV camera is installed at the top of the Lotte Hotel Resort in Yangon. This is Lotte Hotel is one of the most highest building in Yangon. So in Yangon, to cover the whole range of the Yangon, 2,060 number of the camera have already been installed, and this installed at the most highest building in Yangon is also connected to the C3. That's which I mentioned in the previous slide. That we call it command and control center. So by monitoring this one and the surveillance situation, that we can see the overview of the Yangon for the real-time detection and see if something happens, so that we can respond faster. And so these are the camera that we can rotate 360 degree horizontal and then 80 degree and the vertically. So it can be zoomed into the 30 times. So another one is also the 3G camera system. Which kind of camera installed at the fire engine nationwide. So far we have 388 cameras are already set up in the fire engine nationwide. This system is over the mobile network, and data will be uploaded to the video streaming server. Then everyone who has permission can access from everywhere. So in case of any fire or any disaster in Myanmar, affected, so the management of the supervision could be done from the command and control center on the base and for the remote real-time information. Also, it's very easy for the commander or high-level officer by looking at the real-time information and then give any suggestions or any other anything that they might need for the further production. Next one more is the vehicle tracking system. This kind of a GPS-based system. So it's also ensure a fire engine, especially in Yangon, total 161 fire engine has already been set up. The kinds of vehicle tracking system there. The purpose of this system to use is that because we have some, we call it golden time. The first thing we confirm the incidents on the fire, then we started for the dispatch order, and then the fire engine or the nearest station will start dispatch. And then as soon as the fire engine starts, we collect the dispatch time, and then on the way to the incident site, and then we can collect the exact location, also where we can direct the shortest way to reach there, and then the final arriving time, and then we can review and then we can analyze how much time we need to be there by using this system. So also the kind of system also monitor and the command and control center. Also we can also determine on the sites of the fires or any incidents, also whether we have to dispatch more resource or like engines or the human resource. Those kinds of decision can be made by using this kind of system. So next, we call it 3G in our reuse system. Also on the mobile. Also mobile internet-based, so we use the reuse system nationwide in case of any emergency. Any fire service personnel use those kinds of the reuse system by using the separate channel and locally or divisionally, or also we have some nationwide channel. So in the internet base, also it is from one person to all the time, the information sharing is very, very fast, and then since we use this one since July 2018. And currently we have 1,243 node radio phone or to provided to the nation, to the fire service personnel and the whole Myanmar. By using this one, we have the effective, very efficient communication to emergency response. Like we have a very long coast area in case of some kinds of tsunami or something happened. The communication can be from everyone, like our headquarters. We can give one order, and then everywhere in Myanmar, the information will be shared in timely manner. So this one is the mobile application system, 191 report and dispatch order. So we call it 191 report and dispatch order, and it's one for every mobile iOS Android application. You just download and the points, and if you are in witness of some incidents, fire or some other emergency, and you just point the incident place and then shoot and then send, and then the information will be redirected to the server, and then we have the monitoring station at the fire command and control center. Then we will confirm by calling your mobile, and then it's confirmed we will dispatch from the nearest station and from the command control center. Also, we have another fire emergency or hotline number 191 is locally and sorry the regional place, and then if you die on 191, the closest fire station will be answered. So also these are the photos that that we can we are monitoring from the at the background server side at the command and control center. This one is called, we call it emergency alert monitoring service. I call it EMS. The purpose of this system is we have especially in Yangon, we also have high-rise building. We also have the factory, and then the petrol, the tank station, LPG or LNG or those kind of the heavy generation plant also is already placed in the Yangon. So this one is an online-based device that can be integrated to the existing fire alarm panel or fire alarm panel in those kind of factory. If something happens to the fire alarm panel, if something detected, also the data will be directed to the EMS, and the EMS will send to our monitoring station C3, the fire alarm system. So also it also can send to the manager or any authority person from the factory or from the high-rise building. So by using this one, if something happens, we can reduce the golden time to detect any situation in the real-time information. So also if something happen or in the emergency happens, or just go and press the here fire emergency, and here another one is one emergency, press button. By pressing manually those buttons, also the signal will be sent directly to our C3 center, and we can make necessary action in no time by using this device. Also now we are trying to force those kind of the industry and then those kind of higher experience to install as a mandatory service. These are the information media that we are using this one. By using this information media, so if something happened or anything happened nationwide, we have been sharing it from especially from the Facebook. We have more than 1.1 million followers, especially in the Facebook page, and also any data or any information will be used. Those kind of data has been using from the many media, because they thought the MFSD field page as a trusted source. And the right one is the website, and then also we have also YouTube channel, but also we have a Twitter, but only a few information, but because most of the Myanmar people are using the Facebook page, that's why we are most of the information, every information will be sharing on the MFSD and Facebook page. Also the followers getting higher and higher. So also we are providing the government services to the public quality, especially for the higher building. Also we need to inspect the drawing and the design drawing of the factory or high-rise building or the tank farm or any industrial design. So in case of this one, we have to make sure that the proposal is in accordance with our fire code or procedures, or is there any need that we just provide the necessary information and necessary suggestion to modify and then to revise the drawing. So these are the online system we provide for the public for easily, especially in the for scientific and business process digitalization. Also in this pandemic period, also it can refrain from the physical contact to our staff. So by using this one, they don't need to come anymore to the office, and then they just upload it by using this application system, and then we just provide any suggestions or anything that they have to revise and then they upload again. So This is one of the government public service provided by the university to the public. So as my conclusion, by using the NCT information system, and as I already presented on the previous slide, by using this one, we got a especially most in this decade is the Fire Service Department is one of the department that people trust most. But actually, we are using the NCT system, and we already started using NCT integration, and we are trying our best by using this one. But this about the above mentioned system are currently is in separate situation, but we are not integrated yet. So that also it would be great if it is already to be integrated system. So this is the opportunity where we can collaborate and cooperate with the any international organization or any international company, also between our nation. This is the best opportunity. So by using this information system, so we can share real-time information to the public. This is the most important one. By sharing the real-time information, they think they feel safe by if something happens, or if they hear some sirens of the fire engine, they go to the Facebook and then see the Facebook, and then first the Facebook page, and then they know the information. That's what they do in Myanmar. So on behalf of my department, I would like to say that by using this ICT information system, also Myanmar Fire Service Department can enhance our performance and the real information. Also we can get the public belief and public trust, and in this economic the democracy periods. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all. Thanks for your kind attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chin, for your presentation. Wonderful presentation, sharing the experience and the project that you have in your Myanmar. Now, next presenter is Dr. Nguyen Van Than. He is presenting a Vietnam e-government architecture framework, current and today and tomorrow. Let's welcome to Dr. Tan.
Hello everyone, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
Okay, so now I will share my screen to share with you my some news in Vietnam, guys. So I want to firstly I want to send a thank you to both of Wang and all of you to give me the very good opportunity to be here today to share with you and learn from each of you the lesson and the experience about so many things in industry 4.0. And today I will share with you the Vietnam e-government architect framework today and tomorrow. It is something happen now in Vietnam. And here's a briefly outline of my presentation today. First, I will introduce about some background about enterprise architect e-government framework. And second, I will share the all framework of Vietnam e-government development and architect. And next is some update information and architect in this kind of framework. And the last one is some lesson and experience I would like to share with you. So firstly, as you know, the EA, Enterprise Architect, nowadays so many countries in the world, we try to develop the new e-government framework based on the Enterprise Architect. So what is the Enterprise Architect? It is the main backbone for each organization, including public and private sector. So based on the EA, we can see the interoperability and the relationship between the standard requirement and the technical system. And we can, based on that, to show up some new model for each firm or each organization, and have several types of architect in the world now. But we can summarize in 4 layers. The first is business architect, it's including the business processes, organization, and people. And the next 2 layers, including the services architect and data architect. It covers all the data and information of each organization and the linking of each information inside the organization. And the lowest layer is a technology architect, including hardware, software, network, and some infrastructure. So as you know, now in the world we have several kind of architect framework, such as Segment, FEA, TOGAF, or UNDP. But in case of my country, in Vietnam, we use TOGAF because it is one of the biggest architect framework based on the open data. So here in this slide, you can see the main components of TOGAF 9. We use some reference models like business or application data or enterprise continuum to see what kind of relation between each component. So among 9 components, we focus mainly on reference models because we can show up the new model based on the existing model of this TOGAF. So in case of Vietnam, e-government we developed from over 10 years ago. Until now we have some advantage and some new challenges also. So in Vietnam we have 2 kinds of ministry. The big organization take care about the e-government development. The first one is Ministry of Science and Technologies, and second one is Ministry of Information and Communication. So we can see here is a main organization chart of Ministry of Information and Communication. So we divide in some main departments, authorities, member unit, and enterprise. So in case of enterprise, in the next slide, I will show you some price of this kind of firm. We try to developing the new model and new framework based on this kind of power of enterprise. So in Vietnam, we have 2 kinds of organization structure. We call vertical and horizontal. In vertical case, we can use the ministry level. Under ministry, we have several agency, department, and so on. And similar to province, in Vietnam we have 63 different provinces, and under each province we have several districts and commune also. So in horizontal structure, we have organization of each department. So among different kind of department, we have a relation very close because they have the same management of government. In case of e-government development status in Vietnam, we have the long history from before 1994. We firstly we try to build some ICT program in 6 years from 1994 to 2000. In this early stage of computerization, we invest the power and investment for the infrastructure, computer and network equipment. In the second phase of e-government development, we propose some declare and some project proposal. And in the third one, from 2007 until now, we try to apply the new IT application in action of state agency, and we now in terms of Industry 4.0, we apply the new technologies like big data, AI, or computer vision to build a new framework. So you can see the e-government development index of Vietnam, we increased very quickly from 2014. We are in the rank of around 100 among among nearly 200 nations in the world. But now we increase in this year, we are in the 80 rank. So we are in the high level of very e-government countries. We have a high level of increasing the e-government level. So here is existing framework of Vietnam government architect. We can divide into the three main components. The first, in the left side, we have different kind of user, including officer, citizen, or firm, and private company. So we use a very variety channel and protocol to connect to the main point of e-government platform. Look like the kiosk, smartphone, phone, or e-portal or email. And in the core of National Government Service Platform, we linked to the e-government portal. And we divide into the two kind of different layers. The first layer is ministry, including 63 ministry. And each ministry, we have a different kind of e-portal and local government service platform to monitoring and organize all of activity and development status inside. And similarity for province level, we have 63 province, and we also use a local government service platform to link among this kind of province. And we also now we develop the national database to connect to external database to provide the new services and new data for each user, but not only each user, but also for the organization. So in ministry level of government architect framework, we divide to the 10 layer. From user, we use channel to connect to public service. We access to the online services based on the application and database. So we use some technical inference like sharing and integration based on the infrastructure, hardware and software. And over this, we have a management from government to provide the services and connect to the national government service platform to provide data and information to province and ministry. So similarity for province level, we have same architect like ministry level. Only the switch off between the province and ministry in this graph. So under ministry, we have a district level. For this level, we use common infrastructure of province to accept and use different kind of services for the citizen and the government. So you can see we have three kind of main component in existing framework. One national government service platform, NGSP, and two kind of LGSP, local government service platform for ministry and province level. So NGSP, we cover all kind of important data to access the services for the ministry and province. And here is some main components inside NGSP and LGSP. We focus mainly on the different kind of service and management, some interface in web or in system or in banking. So from last year until now, we try to build a new architect framework based on the TOGAF and enterprise architect clearance service from US. So here is a new framework version. So in this kind of new framework, we have the new component. It is a red highlight in this graph, National Document Interoperability Bond, because we put interoperability level. Why we put this kind of level in this new framework? Because between each component, before we didn't have any link or connection. So even we have so many national database, but we didn't have sharing and increasing the environment for own citizens can access effectively and successfully. So we put this new layer, and also we have the National Public Service Portal. It's easy for all kind of user. We can access to the deeply services inside the system. So for the National Government Service Platform and Local Government Service Platform, we keep the same structure like before, but we separate government office. Before we put government office inside ministry level, but now we separately, because this kind of organization, it has a specific structure and responsibility to take care for this new government framework. So for the outcome for all kind of user, we can easy to access all the data and information in national database. Not only for ministry level, but also for province level. So here are some kind of lesson and experience. In Vietnam, we propose the new national program on socio-economic development in 10 years, from 2021 until 2030. Inside of this national program, we focus mainly on science, technology, and innovation, and we can call the STI. And in kind of STI, now we put so many effort and power to increasing the industry 4.0 technologies to show up the new kind of framework. And not only from public sector, but also from private, we put the new program we call Make in Vietnam to try to achieve the new price. Now in this year, we are the chair of the ASEAN leading countries. So we have the goal to rising Vietnam ranking of e-government from 10 to 15 levels, and we can try to bring Vietnam into the group ASEAN countries. We have a very higher e-government development. And here are some pictures. So some very famous ICT organization in Vietnam. Look, we have FPT or Viettel or VNPT or Vincom. So all of this kind of enterprise, we try to building the new program and new services, look like the Acabot automation software or the national database in science and technologies, national database in public services, and so on. So here is in the end of my presentation, and I'm very happy to say to all of you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tan, for your wonderful presentation. Now our next presenter is Wantana Aripayokchi from Thailand, and she is presenting the transforming education in Thailand, teachers' role and the applicable technologies. Let's welcome Wantana, Ms. Wantana. Okay.
All right, thank you for your introduction of me. Thank you very much. And I would like to check, you can see my screen clearly, right? And what about my voice? Hello?
Very clear.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's me greeting you. สวัสดีค่ะ Okay, 안녕하세요. Good evening, everyone. I'm greeting you from Chiang Mai University, Thailand. Thank you for inviting me. It's my honor to have the chance for sharing my experience in 2020 GSDB conference here. Today's topic, I would like to uncover the current picture, the new normal, and the future path of transforming education in Thailand as a case, especially the roles of the teachers and the applicable technology. All right. Before we start, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Wantana Ariprayonkit. I am an ITTP alumni. Presently, I am working as a lecturer, major in the Innovation and Technology Management program in Chiang Mai University. Please allow me introduce, promote my university a bit. Chiang Mai University, located in the northern part of Thailand, is a national public university which was established since 36 years ago. The average number of students are about 35,000 registered students per year in average. Here is a green view of the university. I would like to, okay. Here, if you like to virtual visit my university, please, you are welcome. All right, visit the website, okay? And as you can see, we live so close with the nature here, a lot of mountains. So I wish you like to visit here. You are always welcome as my guest. Okay, all right, that's to know a little bit about me, and now let's get to the point. The topic has divided into 4 sections as following. Starting with the education in Thailand, to give you some background of the education system, structures, and issues in Thailand. So here is our alphabet, how we create the alphabet as an original alphabet in the past. Actually, through the lens of truth, Thailand is weak in human resource, actually, and education development. We can say that it is almost completely collapsed. But basically, it has a pinpoint as one of the underlying factors influencing the recent economics and financial crisis. One of the serious causes is about corruption. Moreover, the critical issue is the dramatically decline of the number of universities and academic institutions, due to not only from prosperity of the digital content that makes people be able to self-learning easily, but because the lacking of the trust in the national education system. By the way, there's a hope, right? Always in the situation. And that's why we have to discuss about this topic, how to help Thailand education. And let's check the Thailand profile. We have about 66.5 million of population with a minimum wage about 300 baht, around $10 per day. Our education is teaching in Thai language. The compulsory education have 9 grades, and we separate into 2 semesters in different periods with 2 times for a semester break. From this chart, you will see how much the government threw the budget for the education. It was spent about 19% of the GDP. Here we can see the record at the 2012, right? Continuously increasing for the 677 billions in the recent years. The Education Ministry takes the second place as the most priority over here for the national budget. From here, we can see how much the government takes effort and see how much important for the education of the citizens. By the way, the results are contrastingly, Thailand is still facing of the unemployment problem and lacking of the labor productivity constantly. So that reflects what happened and the issues in Thailand. Okay, for the Thai's education context, about 11 million students are rolling in the system, which the biggest member in public school, such as in the primary school here, undergrad and the middle school respectively. Some of them choose to study in the private school, the most in primary schools and kindergarten. Overall jobs of the Thai's education, the responsibility belongs to Ministry of the Education. 2 years ago, for the research and development activity overall, including the activity in the university, the operation of all in science and technology are were taken care by the Ministry of the Science and Technology. Later on, the government covered the Ministry of the Science and Technology with the parts of the higher education sectors, and the missing of the driving country innovation to the brand new name, the Ministry of the Higher Education, Science, Research and Innovation. So here you can see the brand new structure. We did a reformation. Thai's education system starts from the pre-primary school for the 6-year-old kids over up to undergrad students about the 21st ages. Next sections, all right, that's all for the Thailand context. Next section is to know more about us, the roles of teacher. Say that I'm like a junior lecturer in the university. Through my view, there are required skills that we should have to handle these jobs. Who we are actually, from the students' perspective, we should be the teacher, educator, advisor, and also I think you never think about it. We have to be the psychologist sometimes for them. And for the perspective of the society and the private sector, we should have skill in the position like as a researcher, of course, thinker, engineer, scientist, also business consultant. So that's we should have. Who want to be a teacher in the university, you should have this skill. By the way, through the period of the COVID-19 pandemic, it catalyzed our acting roles beyond these simple things. So what we will become actually, less than 1 year, right, through the pandemic period. We must upgrade roles from the local player to the system builder. We have to be more proactive, collaborating with the people in the academic fields, government, and industry. Also improving more skills in advanced self-learner, learn how to work with the AI and robots, actually, because today we work online. We cannot see their students face-to-face with a physical meeting, even our colleagues. Yes, that's for teaching students, right? And we have to be more than teacher, but coach, and mentor. Lastly, is the preparation for the AI era also. Will AI replace the teacher job in the near coming future? That we have to think about and prepare for that. That's interesting problem, right? Oh, all right. That's who we are. Now let's move to the digitizations of the higher ed. What we all have to change. It is about transforming everything offline to be online with digital form. All activities have to set up and ready for learning anywhere and anytime. Additionally, a lecturer is not only who giving the information or give the lecture to the students, but mainly performing as the facilitator and and also a mentor in the class. The important facility that are reforming hardly here, such as all books should provide in ebooks. For all original books, it must be able to travel to the location in case of the hard copy. So if we cannot provide enough for the ebooks for the students, so we should have this service, right? And also everything regarding the administration jobs, including e-registration, online institutional process management, e-monitoring for progress tracking and quality control, e-class, all have to be done in online. This affect to the technology focus direct to the digital research. So technology focus here, we consider AI, data science, big data, digital transformation as the priority. So it's a clear image here. It's the end of the university as we know it anymore, no more. Our teaching and learning is in the air and cloud. The advantage is good, actually. It's convenient for accessing the class content and knowledge for everyone. But the problem is how to invite students have to participation and active contribution in the class. How they gonna give the lesson in the class is very, very difficult over here online, because they cannot touch anything. They cannot feel like it's a real, right? It's a real thing. So here is about moving university to be a digital school. It's not that easy, and we cannot expect any help or support on time. The best technology for interactive class is AR, VR technology that could enhance the reality experience for practices in the class and to attract and for join. By the way, is this still costly technology for us? In the same way, in the robotics, our education programs apply the robotics learning for the kids since the primary school grade. Even we have lacking of the resource for the students through though every year, so we find an excellent group to join the international robot contest every year. Actually, here is an example of our students prototyping. So I'm proud of them. Okay, that's just an example. Another important things to reform is infrastructure. No more construction, but we invest more in online system. But don't forget that not every areas will be ready for electricity, internet, computers, and equipments. All right, the last sections, I would like to give you the preview picture, the transformation concept for the new normal of the Thai education. The concept based on the digital transformation, but applied with the education structure. Now we are standing in the level 1 to 2 for improvement. For sure, we need the step up, right? In the transformation concept, beside government and education sections, the family of students have to be involved too, and fully intense more on the media contents. The passive and active learning and teaching have been transformed to ordinary discipline in Thai education. Moreover, we need a stronger contribution from every sectors. The course have to be design supporting for the massification education and lifelong learning. By the way, we have to handle the new challenges and threats in peaceful conflict, resolution and violation regarding the political issue recently. All right, future workforce competency have been considered intensely for the new program also. And also here is my research topic about the new education era in the open innovation concept for higher education. All right, if you are interested, we can discuss more about this. So what people usually focus is about the soft skill, mental well-being, and the educational equality for remote area. So, all right, that's all for the case of Thailand education. I hope this presentation is helpful and informative for people in education field. So we are in the same boat. Let's create new world together. Thank you.
Thank you
for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Wantana, for your wonderful presentation and presentation. Now, we have finished the 7th presentation right now till now, and the last presenter is myself. I'm presenting on the public related to the public policy. And let me share my screen first. Okay. Okay, can you share my screen? Can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, Dr. Bikram.
Yes.
Very clear.
Okay, okay, great. Great. Good afternoon once again, and this is the last presentation. I'm presenting myself. Please bear me for a few more minutes. The very first policy document that I had I got a chance to read was IT Policy 2000 of Nepal. And we have, by the way, we have a third version of this policy, IT Policy. The IT Policy 2000 was the first policy document I went thoroughly and had several questions in my mind, which was unanswered at the time. Now I realized the practice of policy making in general in most of the developing countries, in particular where the policy is thought to be a similar simple paper document and a practice document, and the practice and the reality is different than that of the policy. What I mean is the new policy document which is being drafted has a very few or no relation with the market or the target audience. Therefore, I thought this phrase by Morgan Correll, US Senator, is worth mentioning here. When there is a vacuum of policy input, public input, a lobbyist usually feel it. But when there is a public input, the people usually win. It means like we are going to make a policy for the people, to make the people, I mean the working environment very fairly, or the economic very fairly, policy on or the fair environment for everybody. But if the lobbyist is giving input while making the policy, then nobody will win. But if we get a feedback or a public are incorporated to include in the policy making, then everybody will win. Just to summarize, the essence of the public policy. Public policy is the government decision and actions to be actions to address and solve the public issues and the problems public issues and the problems and move forward to achieve the prosperity, treating all people living within a national boundary fairly and equally. Public policy can be summarized into many aspects. Many aspects. The few. Oh, okay. And the many aspects. Few are mentioned here. One is reactive, and another is proactive. In a reactive, the reactive policy. It's generally to deal with the events that already happened, and for instance, the policy to address some disruptive technologies such as the digital currency, because most of the government are unaware before this technology has been invented. And also in practice, and people already, and if the people already started using the digital currency, the government has to make some kind of policy to address such kind of activities and make the financial system incorporating the main financial policy framework. And another one is the proactive policy, which is basically to deal with the future issues. From the other perspective, the policy can also be categorized as the disruptive, regulatory, or the constituent policies. Regardless of the type of policy, public policy, it is for the people to treat fairly and equally. Therefore, the only way to make the policy fair for the public is to make living policy, to engaging all the stakeholders during the policy making, rather asking some experts to draft the policy. Policy. Definitely, we need experts to draft the policy, because policy document is not a general document, it is a legal document. Therefore, somebody who has a good experience and a knowledge on those technical aspects of the policy, public policy, should be involved. However, some of the public concerns regarding the policy should be listened and meaningful engagement during the policy making. This approach ensures building the trust to the government and the citizen, and feel the ownership on the public policy. The citizen engagement approach may be different. It could be a webinar, through webinar, focus group discussion, survey, and research, and analyzing the historical data. However, sometimes the policy-making institutions cannot find the appropriate link to the target audience. Therefore, it is very much important to make a partnership with the other organizations and agencies to receive the public messages effectively. However, Policy Research Institute, where I am working, is very much concerned and aware about the authenticity and the validity of the messages, as well as the unwanted or hidden interest of some lobbyists during the policy making process. Okay. I'm going to tell about some of the existing practices that we have, mostly in the developing countries, in general, in my experience in Nepal as well. Policy documents are generally prepared based on the opinion, based on the value orientation, based on the reflection or reaction of the certain incidents. Without concerning the holistic approach that actually analyze what will happen and what was the scenario to make this or call for this policy, to draft this policy. This approach do not actually address the main intention of the public policy. In this approach, the four major actors during the policy makers are engaged. One, media, public media or simple media, interest group, political parties, and the public servants. Here, all four parties equally keep engage in the policy making, and another one is interest groups also directly engage to the public policy making process, and also indirectly through the different media, different channels, like through the lobbying, through the political parties, lobbying through the public servants, or through the media. So, but the problem is, we are going to make a policy for the public, for the people, for the citizen, or for the industry, to make fair play in the certain judiciary. However, the link between the public and policy making entity is missed here. So our new approach, since Policy Research Institute is established in 2018, just 2 years back, and now currently fully functioning, and we are trying to correcting this approach. So our new approach is following the policy cycle. In this policy cycle, we are using the public as a center link. We are using public as a center link and following the policy making cycle, where we first analyze the context and make the agenda setting. During the agenda setting, we make different consultation with the different group of people, like actually the target audience. And after that, we validate whether this agenda is worth working for the policy or not. And we start with formulating the ideas, formulating the policy, and we work whether this policy is able to adopt or not, and we also work ensure that some other legal provisions, and also the integration, possible integration, or the problems with the other existing policies and laws, rules, regulations, and go through the implementations. Through this process, we also have a reviewing mechanism of that particular policy, or also particular policies that are existing. During the whole process, we are actively engaged. Citizens will be actively engaged, and we will listen the voice of citizens. So, therefore, we use several channels to connect with the citizens, to the target audience, and as I already mentioned, the public is the heart of policy-making cycles. To ensure the quality, ensure during the engagement of public, we ensure the diversity as well as the quality of participation. Because if there is no quality of participation or meaningful participation of public, then the policy is not for the public. True. And also, we engage the other academia, policy practitioners through the tailored journal outlet. It means we will. Our journal will only accept the wide range of policy and papers, and where the public and the academia and the public policy practitioners will submit their research to the journal. But we only accept the papers focused on in Nepalese context. The other approaches are using the frequent consultative meeting with the target audience and the stakeholders, which we believe to address the public concerns and make a livable document rather than drafting in a room. So this is our approach, and then we're working on, and currently our activities are reviewing the government annual programs, to identify whether those programs are coherently maintained, or whether and also why those programs are continued or not. And some others are excluded from the, discontinued from the programs, annual programs. And also we are working to draft the upcoming government annual program. And these are a few to mention. Mentioned our work activities, and this is what we are working and correcting the policy making and policy reviewing approach to draft the to work on the public policy and government policies in Nepal. Thank you very much for listening me. And also thank you very much for your attention as well as participation and giving you wonderful presentation in this session. We have covered, I think, almost all aspect of the practices and also policy attention and keeping our presentation on time. I hope with the limited time, we saw our activeness, presence, and activeness during this pandemic. Thank you very much. And at last, we are also need to make a photograph, but in this the virtual session, I request you, all of you, to open your video to take a snap so that it will be a kind of memory for us. Okay.
Where is Tan? Where is
Dr.
Tan?
Tan? Dr. Tan, are you there?
Let me show your face.
Dr. Tan. Okay, he is now on. Now we are only 6 people out of 8. Okay, anyway. Okay, thank you. I think you have taken the pictures. Okay, thank you very much. Now, shall I close the session?